Well, I want to thank everyone for coming this morning, and I want to be in a rejoicing. Did I tell you what rejoicing? Okay, that word came a couple weeks ago, but this is what, it's the word rejoicing, but think about if you take that word and you split it, it's joy and sing. So now I say I'm joicing. I'm joicing. I want to feel that we are joicing this morning and not heavy burdened with what may be happening in our individual lives. I want to lift buoyantly the cares and have them dissipate. I want to break the forms that are binding us, and I want to sense the crack. I felt that yesterday, like this massive giant egg was cracking. I want to crack that and to split it wide open and to reveal what is birthing. I want to glide over the top of the worries and the fears and the hesitations that are thick in our life, and feel that we are just merely passing over the top of them. Not even a touch. I want to feel like we are combined, connected, linked together in a string, all of us in this room in a string, one to the other, vibrating and connected together. And that no one in this room is without the others in this room. And therefore, no one in this room is ever entirely alone. But we are surrounded. I want to feel and to create a new spot right in the center. A new spot that will lift up and flower into the meaning of today's lesson. And I want us to feel that it is showering us with new hope, with new light, with new belief, and in a higher trust that we can be ready for the more that is next. Working in that place of more and next and what is coming and what we are approaching and what we are on and what is gracing on its way toward us. That's not a small thing. We're not talking about calendars. We're not talking about dates. We're not talking about specific events. We're not talking in those ways. We're speaking of the enterprise of nexting. The enterprise of nexting. And what it is to be in the place that we're in right now. To be here present at the threshold of next. And to cross over gracefully. There is a great upheaval. I really would like to look at that word because it came in this last week in a positive way, like this was a positive upheaval, but it's always ever been used in our language in a negative. But what is the upheaval? To heave? What is to heave? Like, almost like a,
up,
right?
Up and out.
Yeah, okay, so upheaval, which that's part of breaking, feels, yeah, good, right? Something making a big movement. We are at an upheaval, all of us in the best ways, and yet many of us in the more painful ways. Nonetheless, it is a great upheaval, which is just and true, and is it's absolutely necessary. How can an infant grow to an adult without those bones growing? Without the bones growing, and without growing pains, without the stretching, right? It must needs happen that we move from grace A to grace B. That we move from moment 1 to moment 3. There's that moment in between that we are taxing. Okay, let's talk about the moments and those movements for each one of us, like collectively and also individually. Some of us are in great challenge right now. Some of us are watching as people that we meet and people in our lives are crumbling. There's sort of that crumbling, and it causes concern for those that we love. There's that dismay of wanting to, like, feeling this need right here in the heart to help, but knowing that you can't physically help, or that perhaps you can't make somebody be a certain way or do something, or choice is held within the individual. And so a lot of us are watching from the outside as these sufferings are ongoing, and we want to step in and we want to move it along, but that we must wait upon the individual. We must wait upon them to open their eyes and to upheave and to walk. Some of us are attaching our awakenings, our newings, to bright new apertures and to new information, new dialogue, and new inspiration that's coming through the veil. And a lot of us, in fact, I would say everyone in this room, we are upon it because we're tapped in to that field. And so this is an exciting part of the upheaval, that the new is coming in like this wonderful tidal wave, and we are feeling it and seeing it, noticing it, and we're noticing it playing out in different scenarios, and we're being so very observant. And because of that, we are not missing a thing. We're not missing a thing. We are enterprising the great arrival of that new. Some of us are finding dispositions in our physical bodies. Yeah, woohoo! And this is not without some discomfort. And it's a big question mark, bing, right there, in the feeling of what is going on? What is happening? We are feeling displaced within the mortal body. We are feeling unworked, unsuited in the mortal body. We are feeling that the suit doesn't fit. It's tearing at the seams, or it's threadbare, or it's got some stains on it, or it's not suiting us well. And this is also a bit of a concern that we are experiencing. Do not mind the trouble you are being sent by your body. Do not mind that trouble. That must take place. It must take place. It must occur. It must happen. It must be. It must go. Do not fear or worry about the displacement of your physical body living inside of it. That is making adjustments accordingly. We are all on a swift change. Some of us busier than others. Some of us stand and watch and feel well to just be you. Some of us are working really, really hard, running 100 miles an hour, it seems, getting very little traction. Some of us are viewing through a telescope, the distance up ahead. How do I get from here to there? And we do not have our eye on the space in between. We do not feel we know what that looks like. Some of us are turned around like this and contemplating and pondering and stewing over what has been, that seems to be coming up a lot like this. Some of us are forgetting the sorrow and the turmoil and the was, because that didn't feel right while it was happening. And it sure as well doesn't feel right now. So we are forgetting it. Some of us are wanting, feeling the great want. The great want. And this can be a seed. It is a good thing. Though we direct the feel of want as being without, yet it is also a beginning of that which is needful and may soon arrive. And so that is good. That is good. Some of us are tired and heavy, and the day feels long. And so some of us feel a bit of this happening and over like this. And we just want to throw the head back and open up the body like this. And we want to be well receivers. But it seems the curvature keeps coming like this. And some of us feel we are so tired that to take one more inch of a step is too many. And we just want to hold right here. We just want to hold right in this place in absolute steady stillness and feel just only one thing, the grace of acceptance. Because that would feel oh so good and so right to only be accepted for all of who we are, for everything about us, all the nuances, all the errors, all the mistakes, all the joy, all the fun, all the crazy, all the new, all the good, all the sweet, and all the difficult. And we only just want for the acceptance. It's just one singular thing, and that's all. And if we just hold in this place, we might feel it. Some of us are ready, and we have engines that are like fueled up and revving, and we feel it's like a vibration under the feet that we cannot stand still, and it gets us springing, and you may find yourself in this upon moments. Like the feet they've got to go, they got to move, and the joints of the body are like, oh, bend me. Make action happen. We are the live action doll. And we're bendable. And we've got to get that moving forward. It's like this thrust that just won't quit. And we dance on it, and it feels buoyant and light because we are so ready. We feel so ready that we're just going to pop. We're just going to spring like an ejection seat into that next great movement. And we feel glad and we are happy that we are anew and aware and prepared. Because this is a great place to be, and it feels absolute, and trust is sure in that place. And this might only be half a fraction of a second of your day, but new in it. And be in that space for that half of a second. Some of us feel ready for more, but we don't know how to get it. We want and hope and sing for it, but it doesn't seem to show up or arrive in our place. But we keep anticipating and expecting that it's going to, and it hasn't yet materialized, and so the hands feel bare and empty. And they want for companionship. They want for substance in the hands. And it's, we're waiting still for that to come. Some of us may be in all openings of everything I just described and more. And we can't seem to break from it and spell just one place. One constant that is and is always, all the time, that is a good thing, all the time. One constant. I just want to be in one constant all the time. I want to be in that high place always, every second, in movement, in motion, forward of what is good and powerful. And that's what I want all the time. One state of being, one state of mind, one state of heart, one state of body, one singular, powerful, important state of being, and none other. But why have we designed that feeling that that's what we need? Why have we thought to feel only the best is good enough? Why have we decided that if we just choose one thing, it will forever be good and happy? Why do we not count it just to be in the low spots, to be in the trying spots, to be in the haves and the have-nots? Why do we not count it worthy of our grace and our experience to be without? Why do we not value and revere the difficult along with the brightful? Why do we not measure as needful that which is sorrowful? Why do we not count every instant of a human life as part of growth, as part of progression, as part of rising? Why do we not catch a rise on each fall? Why do we not hold in our importance the need for mistakes or mishaps or errors? Why are we in such weight and in such need and in such desire of everything all the time, always being perfect? Or what we suppose to be perfect? Why are we so without when we are so within? Why are we trying and justly hoping and aptly working when all there is simply to be? And let the work of it all ride from the hand of divinity, and we will follow. The creation has already been done. Your work, your plan, your design has already been fashioned and counted and set to force. Can you merely be in it? Can you forgive yourself for wanting and trying and working so hard when all that was needed was for you to simply reveal and reside? Can you accept or even embrace the opportunity that lives inside of you to let go of your internal action and to ride a slipstream? Can you abate your hard on yourselfness and follow a flow that goes forward never-endingly that never stops, that can't stop, that is just and divine and has wings. Can you make for yourself a hardness that has no more feet? Can you let go of the ride and simply be still? That is where the slipstream finds you. The is and the be and the still is an internal grace. The feet and the arm and the hand will always seek to move and to act. That is just. But the inside is writing way too hard and too fast and too long. The is and the be and the still are so quiet. And they just rest like a little cradle inside. And we nurture it. And we harbor it. And we comfort it. And we grace with it. And we sing to it to keep it calm and still and alive. And we let the feet form to the quiet notions of that place, that stillness, because that is the spire of wisdom. That is the aperture of wisdom. A very deep place, a very still place. And when we don't go there, we get tripped up in the knees and the feet because they just want to go and go and go and go. And they're just like, woohoo, all crazy everywhere. But from the still place goes action fortified, quantified, and direct. And from the knees and the feet and the hand, without signal, from the still place, go running, 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 spinning, 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 tired, 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 break down, break down, break down, break down, fall. A measure like this. An ounce of wisdom and light. 5,000 pounds of action. An ounce of wisdom and light gets you quantum leap. 5,000 pounds of action from knees and feet and hand get you 6 inches of progress. The divine calls us. The divine calls us daily, hourly, every minute, every second, every fraction of a second, to go to the quiet place, to go to the still place, to just arrive. And we know how to arrive because we've all learned it. We arrive like this, and hopefully with a pen in our hand. And we just arrive. That's all you have to do. And in that still place, you and the divine are one divine. And then you feel and you listen. And it all comes, and it all comes, and it all comes. And that is worth 5,000 pounds of action. But it isn't 5,000 pounds. It doesn't need 5,000 pounds. It just needs that calm, quiet stillness to listen, to receive, to be informed. be informed. And then, and only ever then, please, let's save ourselves. Spare the sorrow and the trial and the sorrow. Then and only then go the action of the knees and the feet and the hands. Very little is needed to make great quantum leaps of action and force and progress and field new ways and new risings and harmonically a new humanity. Oh, but very little is needed. Oh, but very, very little. Oh, but very little. So little. You would ask me if I was joking, if I showed you the quantum amount that was needed truly. But it all starts in here. You have to get quiet. You've all heard this. Be still and know that I am God. But I would say to you, to know that I am God, be still. To know that I am God, get still, be still. Only ever then will you know that I am. That is a soft gesture. And the ankles and the knees and the arm don't get tired from that gesture. And we don't spin out of control from that gesture. And we don't upheave in tiresome ways and sorrowful ways from that gesture. It is oh, but so simple and so forceful and so right. I would like us all to rest. I would like us all to rest. I would like the meaning and the souls and the sorrows and the people in this room to calm and to get still and to rest and to come down from your and to settle in and to settle down and to say one word, when the tongue hits the mouth and there's one speak and there's just a single voice saying a single word that feels to you like that resting place. And I would ask you for the word that you could speak, that you could share in our group. I will start. The word for me is song. Song. Heart light.
Receive.
Receive. Inspire. Hope. Clean. See how the space just cleared? It all just settled. All that sorrow just settled. All the time and the try and the just settled. Settled. This, we have created a still space. Let me share with you what I am feeling in the still space. I'm feeling substance. I'm feeling the air as substance, and I'm feeling that no matter where I put my hands, it rests upon the substance. There is substance in the air, but only in the stillness can you feel it. I'm feeling the substance, almost like cotton candy. It's just a whole room full of this cotton candy. It's light and fluffy, but it is substance. It has weight to it. It has form to it. Only it forms to my hand when I touch it. I'm feeling also breath. When I breathe, there are particles that are singing, and they each have a word, and I breathe them in, and they delight in the word they have. That's the word they choose. And nothing is ever chosen that is not quantified for ultimate happiness and ultimate grace. And when I breathe it in, all these laughing, singing particles come in, and I feel the tune in my ears, and I feel that I am alive with the air that I breathe. And I feel that something is being shown in my eyes that looks like water fountains, but they don't flow down, they flow up. The water fountains go like this and they flow up. And so I am shown that all that is light flows upward. All that is light rises, much like the fountain that is backwards from the ground up, from the song up, song that like rises. And I'm also seeing every heart that is beating in this room, in the chamber, in the fluid, like a pool, being embodied by the same particles of light, that it knows it not, that often ways is forgetting that it is made of the substance of light. Every particle beating into the breath of the heart, breathing into the heart space, and throughout the whole form of the body and every part of the body, that life, that is light, that is one. That were it to remember, not a moment more would ever be spent in wasteful or useless care or fear or concern. Brightening immediately in the knowing of its inheritance, rightfully sent by way of earthhood to encounter all the arenas of humanity on this planet. The highs and the lows, the sweet and the bitter, the easy and rightful, and the challenging and sorrowful. That it was all quantified to be taken in by these light particles and measured for the higher progress, for without them there could be no substance of transcendence. And in the eyes, we see all things that we suppose are visible, but we do not behold that which is continually before us, to be beheld, to be noticed, recognized, and received. That is the light that is here for you, that wants for an audience with you, that seeks to be known by you, that loves to be embraced with you. And in company with that light, there is a knowing, an absolute knowing, that we have never been separate from the light, that we are one with the light, We are one of the light. We are one of the light more than we perceive. We are here in this planet. Light is coming, more light is coming. But what of having a hand on the light already here? What of holding a vision of the light already present? What of knowing we are a part of that light? What of not impatiently in wait for the more that is to come, but in receiving what is already here? You will see as you begin to open your eyes. 4 lenses. 4 lenses that we have. 4 lenses like layers over the eyes. Like layers through which we may see. The first one being particle, objectivity, that which is matter formed to the view of our eyes, like the table, the chair, the rug, the wall. That is layer number 1. And 2, lens number 2, that which is particle dispersion, particle spread out. This may be light forms, light in the breath. This may be vapor. This may be the wind as it blows. Substance, but yet much finer. 3rd, it is more. The particles of wisdom in the eyes of your friend. The particles of love in the hug of your parent. The particle of rejoicing in the laughter of a child. That is the 3rd lens. This is not seen perhaps by matter formed in a solid, but by experience. 4th lens. This is the mighty aperture and the grace of all that is, eternity as it were. Spirit is matter and form. This is the light that is not beheld in way of luminance on earth, but it is embodied in a powerful grace. And through this 4th lens, you will never see one-dimensionally again. Through the 4th lens, learning to behold through that lens is the gateway to know all things. There are no partitions after that place. That 4th lens, no partitions. All things are made known to you. All that was, all that is, all that will be, all that can be. All that you have, all that is had, all that is possible. The 4th lens is the gateway that must be passed through in order for humanity to go to our next final space. Era number 10. Era number 10. Threshold we are on right now. Seam. We are on splitting right now. 9 and 10, we are on the seam. To go to threshold space era number 10, we must cross the 4th lens. It is rightful that beginnings start in rooms like this, where people gather, full of heart and believing and willing to look and behold, open to receiving. It is powerful that places just like this are being welcomed all over the world, and people just like us are gathering into them. And newness and truth and wisdom and messages are being brought forth in sounds and words and feelings just like these. It is mightful that this is happening. Do you know it is? Do you know what is happening? Do you know? All over the world, do you know that it is happening? Mm-hmm. Do you know that there are people just like us all over the world, from all different backgrounds, all different races, all different communities, and they are gathering, and they are trusting, and they are exacting, and they are in want, and they are receiving, and they and we and all of us are what will bring forth era number 10, because we are beginning to tap the fourth lens. We have already begun to see through the cracks of the fourth lens, and hope is streaming through, Terry, and light and love and wisdom is carrying through that opening, and belief and faith and a stronghold of armory, that is to say, strength, is apparent, and we are the receivers of it. And there is one more grace that I want to share with you. And that is that knowing, to know, to have knowledge of, is not the only way to make progress. It is not the pinnacle of progress as we suppose it to be. Though we adore knowledge, we seek after knowledge, we love to have knowledge, we're always in want of more knowledge. It is not the higher grace. It is not. It does not fuel the higher power. What does fuel the higher power? What does make for the higher grace? What does enact divinity? What does bring forward new worlds? What does carry on lasting wingtips that spread infinitely across eons is not knowledge. It is trust. It is trust. It is divining trust. It is divine trust. It is trust that holds the hand over an anchor and says, I will not stay in one place for very long. It is trust that binds the hand to the anchor and says, carry it up, we're moving on. Though I know this place and it's been really comfortable and I've been sitting here for a while, it's time to move on. And that is trust. Trust carries the hand over many ways, over many parts, over many places, anchor-free, and gives thrust to the divining of what is always yet to be. And do you not know that even the divine, and what the divine carries, there is a part that says, I do not yet know what is next, but I hold my trust in an embodiment that is absolutely solid and firm, and so I go. And he did. He goed. And that's why we call him God. So we carry our trust high first, pinnacle, and then knowledge somewhere right around here. We will continue to gain knowledge and to have more. Absolutely, you don't even realize yet. The cusp of scientific verve, the cusp of historical data, we have not even yet seen the tip. Not even yet the tip. Nope, no tip. Not seen it. Nope. It's just formula and inquiry and posturing. That's what we've seen. But the actual tip of historical data, the actual tip of scientific knowledge hasn't come yet. Not seen it. Nope, not done it yet. So yes, more knowledge is coming. Like a tidal wave. But always higher is the trust, like aspire. So aspire to it. That is all.